Hello guys, this is the editorial of February 3. I have uploaded everything till February 2nd with the quiz. So please watch them and participate in the quiz as well, because the prelims is nearing, and if you don't do it every day, you are going to have to pile it up, and then later you will struggle to complete everything. Okay, questions will come directly from Hindu newspapers. So please see to it that you watch every episode. And please subscribe to the YouTube channels Vysh IAS and Vysh Courses, and also connect with us in email, Instagram, and WhatsApp number. Okay, because every day we are posting some things which will be useful for you. And the February to June 2022 test series, this is the final batch. After this, please don't come and ask in March month or April month like, do you have a test series? Okay, because in 2 months you cannot complete the entire syllabus. Okay, it's practically impossible. So now there is a time, there is 115 days left. Please join now and study every day. Okay, we are giving you a timetable also, so you will know what to study each day, and then weekly we'll give you test. So please see to that you are WhatsApping me and joining this immediately. There is installments and discounts which will end on February 15th. So these are the other subjects which are going on, and everything will be free of cost in YouTube. So first we'll see the agenda, which articles we have to discuss today. So first one is about governor versus states. In 2 to 3 states, there are problems going on between the governor and the state, because governor will be appointed from the center, and it will be like almost looks like sometimes more loyal towards the center. So problems will come with the state government. Okay, so that's some examples we'll see. In Omicron virus, it is spreading like anything. Even the sub variant of Omicron, a new one has come, and it's also spreading fast. So we'll see some details about it. Then it's about India-UK relations, which also is important for GS2 mains. Okay. This is about elections. Elections articles we usually don't discuss. And this is a state related article. So Telangana, there are some protests going on, like farmers protest only, but this time it is turmeric farmers. Okay. So that you don't have to know the details, but there is a protest going on, so you should know. Okay. Now, vaccination dose, they had target like by this time we'll complete this many population, that many children, that many adult and all, but it is little bit going slow now. Okay, the vaccination dose has rate has reduced. Okay, now this is Congress manifesto again for elections in UP. So it's like a feminist manifesto where a lot of women oriented things are told. So that is why it's just came in the article, but we don't need such things for exam. Okay, and this is unemployment again. We discussed a detailed article on unemployment and taxation separately. Now again a combined thing has come about the, because from the budget what they tell, like how much capital expenditure, how much revenue expenditure. So quick important points in 2-3 slides I'll tell you. Okay, so this is the whole agenda. Please watch it till the end. And as I told, this complete videos will remain for free. Okay, as long as you support us, everything will be free. So please tell us like which are the videos which you need. And in Vysh Courses channel, the non-editorial videos are there, which will help you gain 2 marks easily in prelims. Okay, each video is going to get you 2 marks because questions are expected from these topics. That is why videos are being made. And if you are a beginner or 2023 batch, 24 batch, 25 batch, we have universal foundational videos of entire basics of UPSC. Okay, without this, don't take up your Spectrum or Lakshmikant and study. If your foundation is not strong, how much ever books you study, you will not pass the exam. Okay, that's a very serious warning from us. From experience we are telling, if you don't know what books to study, what all to gather, what is the syllabus containing, how to set up your study room, why are people going on failing in prelims, these basic things if you don't know, then you will keep failing. Okay, because you are lacking in foundation. So please get these videos from WhatsApp. Just come and ask me, English medium or Hindi medium, I'll give you the list of videos. And again, prelims MCQs, people were asking. Prelims MCQs again we'll start discussing in our YouTube channel for free from April month. Okay, so already 2016 onwards there is previous year question papers. The prior to that ones, whatever is there, I am preparing it. It will come after April month. So the first article, governor versus state, like I told, in West Bengal, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has been having problems with the governor, and they keep targeting each other. And same thing is happening in Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra also. If you see, they even block each other on Twitter and such kind of platforms, and publicly everybody are knowing that they are having a problem. Okay, so that is a very serious issue, and it keeps coming in every day's editorial. Even I think today's editorial, that kind of thing is there. So February 9th, like because I'm recording an older date, I'm telling you every day there is something issue going with the governor versus the chief minister. Okay, so chief minister said that the governor was trying to treat the elected government as bonded labor, and he has been summoning the chief secretary and the DGP on a regular basis, and when they do not turn up, taking to Twitter, meaning the governor will call up these people, and if they don't go when he calls, immediately he'll post it on Twitter tagging the chief minister, telling like, okay, this like meeting was arranged, but these people did not come, state representation was not there. So immediately then she will go and block him. So this kind of things are going on. And also the assent, bills and all when passed in state legislature, it has to be finally given assent by the governor. Okay, same like in center, the president gives the final assent, governor has to give, but he is withholding assent of some amendment bills and all. So like that, many things happen. Okay, so the schemes and things and all, sometimes doesn't work as per the state wants it. In Maharashtra also, this governor has stalled the election of speaker, okay, because some amendments were made by the legislative assembly, like instead of voice vote, we'll do secret ballot, or instead of secret ballot, we'll do voice vote. Something change happened, and that the governor did not like it. So governor was a speaker or governor was assembly, you can call. So that kind of things, okay, governor is telling you don't have the right to just like that change the rules of the house and all. So that kind of problem happens, and refuse to accept the recommendation of Council of Ministers on the nomination of 12 members to Legislative Council until the matter reaches the High Court. Meaning things are then going out of hand and it is going to the High Court of the state. In Tamil Nadu also, if you see, there is a bill, admission to undergraduate medical degree courses bill. Okay, like the NEET exam and all came, so they are trying to have an exception, like Tamil Nadu need not follow NEET exams, they'll continue to follow whatever system they had for medical admissions. So that one bill, okay, so that bill also, either the governor, when they get a bill, they should pass it to the president for approval, or he should return back to the assembly, but there is an infinite delay. Okay, I mean, governor is simply holding it and keeping, so the bill is not moving. Okay, so this kind of things, imperial overtone of the governors can only do harm to the constitutional scheme of things. So this is what is happening. Just 3-4 examples I told you. You can also quote whenever a question comes between governor and state, because already UPSC asked in mains about the lieutenant governor versus Delhi CM's direct question they asked. So same like that, you can expect a question on other states as well. Now, Omicron, if you see, WHO has been telling like more than 90 million cases has been reported, and many countries are in meanwhile easing their restrictive movement. Okay, so this blanket lifting of restriction and all will be problematic later. Okay, because you are telling like the prevention cannot be stopped, like preventing transmission is no longer possible and no longer necessary. This is what the people are telling. Like anyway, whatever you do, it is spreading. Then why should we put restrictions? And they are opening up all restrictions. So this can be problematic. Okay, because certain countries are reporting death also in Omicron. It's not like always it's a mild case. Okay. So Britain, France, Ireland, Netherlands, Finland, all are easing restrictions. In India also, many states, especially because of elections and all these things, everything is opening up. And if you see, there's a newly emerged variant BA.2, okay, which is a subvariant of Omicron. It is also transmissible as Omicron, and we have to follow all the rules, whatever we followed for Omicron itself. Okay. But people, if they are opening up everything like this carelessly, then it can result in huge number of death like we had in the first wave and second wave. Okay. So now WHO, earlier, it was facing a lot of criticism that it did not inform the world properly when it all started in 2020. Even China's cases were there, but WHO did not take it seriously and did not inform the world. So a lot of criticism it has faced. Okay. But author is telling that you cannot simply blame like that, because pandemics come, but it never spread like this in an entire world. Okay. It comes in a regional way, like Africa and all. Every year used to have one or the other pandemic, okay, Ebola or dengue or something used to happen in a selected area. So even WHO did not predict that time it will go worldwide and become this much problem. Okay. Now everybody knows this pandemic is not going to get over until everybody are vaccinated. Okay, and everybody are following the protocols. It is not never going to end. It is going to stay. Okay, because medicine till now is not invented for coronavirus. Only vaccine is there which you have. Okay, until now only half of the world has been fully vaccinated. So WHO must use its influence to continue to encourage vaccination. They should do more to meet the vaccination target. Pandemic as a war that humanity must win. Science is not equipped yet to predict the future trajectory. Okay, because how much ever you are expert or WHO or world level bodies, you cannot predict in which trajectory it will go. Now the next article, India versus UK. Okay, India with UK. Prime Minister Modi and Boris Johnson, the leader of UK, they had a shared vision, and even between the pandemic, they are having meetings and they are trying to have a vision like we will have a transformative decade, like 2020 to 2030. We'll improve all our partnership. In 2020-21 time, UK left the European Union, and after that, they are going and signing agreements with everyone else to start from scratch. Okay. So even in the middle of pandemic, when India is having this thing, you can understand the seriousness in which they are going to work. Okay, so rapid steps to reduce all the barriers to trade, complete the groundwork necessary to begin work on FTA. Okay, meaning a free trade agreement by the end of 2021. They are beginning to start. Okay, so that is the plan. So these words have now been made real, meaning whatever they discussed in the meeting in 2020-21 and all, that is now coming into action also. Both the governments are taking action. They are unlocking the export of British apples to India, enabling a greater number of Indian fisheries to export shrimp to the UK. So mutual export, whatever blockades were there, that and all they are moving. Then the big next step was the launch of FTA negotiations last month. Okay, so in January, they announced their shared ambition to finish negotiations and by having a more comprehensive FTA by the end of 2022. So whatever they discussed, they are actually implementing, because many times you see like countries discuss things, but they will never implement it. Okay, but here it is actually happening. So this is a big task. All trade negotiations are complex, and especially so between two partners of such different sizes and different stages of development. Okay, so these two have different kind of geography, different kind of things, and also it's complex to have lot of tie-ups, but still it is going on. And if you know, nearly 600 UK companies in India are employing more than 3,20,000 people. Okay, in India we have many companies. You know, Barclay is there, JCB is there, Hindustan Unilever is there. So all these are making in India things nowadays. So it is supporting the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision also of the Prime Minister. Similarly, India is already a big investor in the UK also. Okay, like in fintech, electric vehicles, batteries. India was UK's second largest source of investment in terms of number of projects. Okay, so we have been also investing there. They are also investing here. And here is the SR Group and Ola Electric announced investments into the UK. So these are all examples which you can quote because these are latest examples. Okay, always you should never write all our colonial past or other things and all when it comes to GS2 answers. GS2 means answer in international relation. You have to quote very recent examples which is happening, and also these kind of facts like our economies are fifth and sixth in the world, and it's like India is always going ahead and India will become number three also by 2030. So these things are there which can help them work together in tandem. The UK thrives on free trade. Having left the European Union's common trade bloc after 47 years in 2020, we are building a network of like-minded democracies committed to free trade. Okay, this is the reason they are going to every democracy. Indian government is showing its determination to agree to a new set of trade deals. And they are negotiating with similar countries, for example, Australia also. Okay, because they all were once under the British people and now they are all transformed into democracies and they are all believing in free trade. So everybody are coming together. India has an extraordinary opportunity to transform its economy and society in the next 30 years. Okay, because of the demographic sweet spot. You know, we have the youth population at as the highest in the world. Okay, so that is why in the next 10 years we are going to grow like anything. That is predicted by everyone. How much ever people don't even. I think Indians are the ones who don't believe in that, but outsiders everybody believe that India is the one who is going to grow by 2030. We are going to be in a much more upper kind of. It's not like fully developed country, but upper phase of developing phase. Okay, so that is why we people, if they start believing, and everybody, because the companies, startups, everything you take, everything is growing in India. Okay, so Indo-Pacific region is the place where half of the people live, world's people live. 50% of the global economic growth is produced. Everywhere, everything is in the Indo-Pacific area. Okay. And Bangalore also, startups. I think it is more than this year. There was a statistics like Bangalore's number of startup is even higher than the number of startups which came in China. Okay. Because China is known for having more of startups and manufacturing units and all. So now Bangalore is even higher than that. So a UK-India trade agreement will stimulate growth and employment in both the countries. A trade deal helps diversify supply chains by making it easier and cheaper for more businesses to do business across borders. Lower barriers coupled with greater regulatory certainty would incentivize new small and medium sized enterprise. Okay, meaning increase the supply chain, remove all the barriers, incentivize all the small companies. Like that, exports, imports, everything if you do, both countries are going to grow together. Okay, there will be variety and affordability of products also. And there are good economic reasons for agreeing on an FTA. There are good strategic reasons also. More geostrategic competition. Two dynamic democracies, India and UK, need to work close together to promote open economies. So it's the same thing but told in a different statements. Okay, FTA would mark a new way of working between UK and India because earlier we had a colonial economic relationship. So now they can together grow and flourish instead of one dominating the other. So build a future which is about opportunities for both countries. UK and India will shape the next 25 years of our destiny as equal and forward-looking partners. Okay, this is what the president told. Now unemployment, the last article. So if you have to look for one single metric that held the key to us achieving our immense economic potential, one is the one single metric. It is creation of gainful job, particularly for our underemployed youth and women. Okay, so how will you tell we are achieving great growth and great economic potential? We have by checking how much proper jobs we are creating. Okay, so as per the data of ILO, International Labour Organization, India's employment to the population over the age of 15 has steadily dropped from 55% in 2005 to 43%. Okay, the Indian employment population ratio is reduced to 43%. But when you compare other Asian countries, Bangladesh it is 52%, China is 63%, and Vietnam is 73%. So they all have higher employment rate, and here in India it is going down. And women form just 20% of India's workforce, while they comprise between 30% and 70% of the workforce in other three countries. So everything, women workforce and total workforce, if you see in India, it is lesser. And now CMI data suggests that across manufacturing and services, India lost nearly 1 crore jobs between December 2016 to 2021. Okay. Now this pandemic is going on, and the finance minister is also giving a lot of statements. So entire administration has their job cut out trying to enable creation of sustainable jobs over time. So many places, even in the administration level, there are jobs being cut out, and they are trying to create more sustainable jobs. In the budget speech also, they have allocated ample money towards productive infrastructure investment. So this is actually, even worldwide, everybody recommends this. Whenever you don't have proper jobs, you have to invest a lot in capital expenditure, that is, create more and more infrastructure, roads, railways, ports, everything, because every such thing will increase the economy also, and will give give jobs to a lot of people. Okay. So the good news is data released by the Controller General of Accounts, CGA, shows that for the first 9 months of the current fiscal year, the center's revenue receipt, okay, that has been very good. Okay, revenue receipt means, you should know, first thing is, there are two types of thing. Okay, whenever you study balance sheet or economics, you should know there is something called the receipt. Okay, meaning what you receive, and you have expenditure. Okay, these are basics of economics: receipt and expenditure. So in receipt itself, there is revenue receipt and there is capital receipt. In expenditure also, there is revenue expenditure and there is capital expenditure. Okay, so receipt, revenue. Okay, you are receiving revenue receipt means it is through the taxes, dividends, all those things. Okay, so that is having a good number. Whatever they predicted for the full year, 17.9 lakh crore, it came around 17.3 lakh. It is actually good. So there are many factors for this good outcome they are telling. One is the GST collections are always good. Okay, in our country, GST collections are good. Then the projections which the government did, they did not overestimate anything and all. They projected this much and we got almost that much. So that also they are appreciating the government. Government deserves full credit for having a proper projection. Okay, and coming clean on expenditures also. Like we know, we have Air India issue, we have Food Corporation of India issue. All the things we are balancing, cleaning up their balance sheet, and many things are happening, but still everything government predicted it properly. Okay, and the next year also they're telling the tax collection for the fiscal year will end well ahead of the original budget projections, meaning whatever government is projecting, they are achieving it also. Okay, so again, if you see, they are revising this 20.8 lakh something. Okay, they are again increasing because they are expecting that actual revenue receipt may exceed, meaning whatever you predicted, it will again exceed because our tax collection and dividend collections are good. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, like that you should know what is each thing, like what is capital receipt, what is expenditure, this thing. Okay, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure. Okay, revenue expenditure means what? You get these taxes and all, and where will you spend it? You will spend it on salaries and all these things of people. So that is called revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure is what I told in the last slide, where government is investing a lot this time. That is in the projects. Okay, the investments and the roads, railways. That is called capital expenditure. Okay, revenue expenditure means salaries. Capital expenditure means on the buildings and constructions and all these things. Same like revenue receipt means you are receiving as tax. But capital means what? You are selling off companies, like maybe selling off any disinvestment. You make the public company private and all. You get a lot of revenue. That is called capital receipt. Okay, so these are very basic thing. In my economics test, I have explained it. Please enroll to test series if you are weak in economics, because our economics test alone is sufficient for you. You don't have to watch any lecture, nothing. 3, 4, 5 tests which I give, 500 MCQs. You study, you will clear economics any question. Okay, last year also all questions of economics were solvable from my test series. Now, despite the much higher revenue receipt than budgeted, the overall FY22 fiscal deficit is projected to end at this number. Okay, meaning your receipt and all fine, but there is something called deficit which we have. So that physical deficit is again going to be high. Okay, so because there are many other things in which we spend money on, we have food subsidies, we have fertilizer subsidies. So these are monies which are going out, and it's like a freebies kind of thing which is going on, which has to be ideally reduced. Okay, then there are allocations increased towards this Manrega scheme. Then we are cleaning up the books of Air India, like I told. So because of that, we will have deficit. Okay, deficit is meaning your money is not enough for the expenditure. Okay, you have revenue, you have expenses, but you have, suppose here only 10 rupees, but you have expense of 20 rupees. Okay, so that means there is a 10 rupee deficit. Okay, we are in short of the revenue. So that will happen. That is happening because we are moving towards lot and lot of expenditure to make everybody get the values. Okay, like I told, capital expenditure is increasing, all these things. So slowly revenue, even though we are projecting correct and we are getting what it is, we have to get more. Okay, now sustained momentum in tax collections will provide additional degree of fiscal policy freedom. It will foster domestic jobs and output, back investment in the capital expenditure. This is what the government has chosen to do. Okay, she has chosen means finance minister has chosen to put more into capital expenditure. So see, increase the capital expenditure budget, investment into productive capital creation. These numbers don't by heart it, but I'm telling it is increased. Okay, and there is just 1% increase in the revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure, I told you, it is going to salary, pension, interest and all. There much increase has not been done, but in capital expenditure we have done. Okay, average 12%, 16%. These numbers don't look, but they are just increasing it. Okay, they're proposing to increase the capital expenditure. The intent and the commitment behind the strategy is clear and laudable. Okay, it has to be done. The expectation is that sustained investment in roads, railways, that is capital expenditure, freight corridors, power, renewable energy, along with initiatives such as PLI and other enabling legislation, will create the conditions of drawing in private sector investment into manufacturing and foster job creation and sustainable growth. This line, just like that, if you want, you can by heart and put it in the answer. Okay, in GS3 economics, when question comes about how to create job creation and sustainable growth, or how to bring private investment, you have to increase the capital expenditure and invest in all these things. Okay, this is the whole idea. Now here, last slide. Even though when we do all this, there are certain caveats or warnings. Okay, there are certain risks. First is, not all the headline capital expenditure is indicative of fresh greenfield investment. Okay, you should know there's something called greenfield and brownfield. Okay, greenfield means you are starting some company or some project from scratch. Okay, you are starting a railway project or starting a port or building something. Okay, but brownfield means something is already there and you are repairing it, or you are reviving it. Something is already failed and you are reviving it. So these are the two types of investments you can do. So we telling like we are increasing capital expenditure, but that doesn't mean we are going to start fully or put that entire 100 crore or whatever into greenfield. Okay, we have other problems also. We have to clean up Air India's books. We have to now clean up this National Highway Authority's problems, BSNL's problem. So some of the money will go there also. So don't think that your capital expenditure fully is going into new projects alone. Okay, this is the one warning or one risk they are telling. Second one, while there is a visible thrust on hard capital expenditure, the outlays towards critical areas such as health, education, urban infrastructure remain subdued. Okay, so we talked about port, railway, air, everything. Okay, airports and all, but we are not talking about these things. In this, there is no much money pushed in. Okay, the second problem. Now, third problem, higher fiscal deficit, which I told. We have lesser revenue and we have more expenditure. Okay, so notwithstanding the internal commitment, such high fiscal deficit, okay, if it comes, can put pressure on the interest rate and the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, because there is a risk of inflation, because you are putting in more and more money into the system, means more money is going out of the banks, more money is going out of the government. That will result in inflation. Okay, that's again basics of economics, you should know. So higher current account deficit will be there, and it is a threat to financial stability. Okay, so ultimately the key lies in execution. Now all these things we told, suppose the warnings and all we ignore, we give lot of money, provide ample fund for infrastructure. Now the entire administration, that is the center, the state, the local, okay, because these projects will come where? It will come in the local level, it will come in the state level. So they should ensure that these funds are utilized and not like going into corrupted places or going into the pockets of politicians or other administrators. Okay, so this will result in delivery of world-class infrastructure. Now if you see in every state, we are having some infrastructure at least which were never there in India. Okay, like the biggest or the largest or the longest, you take anything, whether it's a tunnel, whether it's a road, whether it's a railway, overbridge, underbridge, shopping malls, anything you take, the world class kind of infrastructure which we did not expect will come in India is coming. Okay, like today's news I saw, like in Jammu and Kashmir, the Dubai group has invested in making some world's largest shopping mall or something. Okay, so like this, some things which we never expected will come in certain areas of India are coming. Okay, and these will give jobs to hundreds of lakhs of people. Okay, so these things and all, if it is implemented, only then this is all worth it. Simply announcing anybody can do. Okay, so ease of doing investment, ease of doing business, land acquisition, contract enforcement, policy stability, everything together. Okay, as a value-added service, hold the key for growth of small businesses, jobs, and our economic well-being. Okay, hope it's entirely clear. Again, as I told, every day you have to study. Okay, if you are a person who is lazily watching random episodes or enrolling partially from here and there or simply piling up materials, you will struggle. Okay, and we don't want Vysh IAS students to struggle. So please WhatsApp me today itself. Okay, if you want to enroll or not enroll, I'll give you both the things. I'll give you free lecture links also. I'll give you how to enroll to the test series also, paid ones. So whichever you want, you do, but please do something every day. Okay, so I'll wind up this video. Please subscribe to both our channels, Vysh IAS and Vysh Courses. Thank you and have a nice day.